Management. You hear that word everywhere, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all the jargon and make this whole idea super simple and practical. So let's dive right in. So let me ask you something. What's the magic ingredient that turns total chaos into actual progress? What separates a bunch of people just spinning their wheels from a team that's knocking it out of the park? To get to the bottom of this, just picture a village, right? Everyone's super excited, they've got this big, ambitious goal, but zero plan. What do you think happens? Yep, pure, absolute chaos. And that idea of chaos, well, that's exactly where our first story begins. We're calling it A Tale of Two Gardens, and honestly, it shows you everything you need to know about this topic. So in the beginning, everyone in the village just jumped right in. You had people digging over here, planting over there, watering everywhere, all at the same time. Sounds productive, right? Wrong. The result was a total mess. Wasted seeds, wasted water, and guess what? Not a single thing grew. But then, this young woman, Mira, she shows up. And here's the key. She didn't work harder than anyone else. She worked smarter. She started asking questions like, hey, who's the best digger? Who actually knows about soil? Who should be in charge of watering? See what she's doing? She's creating a plan. And wouldn't you know it, with the exact same people and the exact same resources, the garden started to flourish. It was like night and day. So what was the secret ingredient? Was it some kind of magic? Nope, it was management. Mira organized all their efforts, she gave them direction, and she turned all that scattered, chaotic energy into truly productive results. Okay, so we've seen management in action with Mira and her garden. What she brought wasn't magic, it was a system. But what is it, really? Let's pin down a proper definition. All right, here's the textbook definition. Management is the process of getting things done through others to achieve goals effectively and efficiently. Now, I want you to pay close attention to those last two words, effectively and efficiently. They sound similar, but trust me, they are super important and mean totally different things. And when we say process, we're not talking about some vague, fuzzy concept. It's actually a system built on 5 key pillars. Think of them as steps. First up, you've got planning. That's figuring out what you want to do and how you're going to do it. Then comes organizing, which is all about getting your resources in order. Tools, money, the whole shebang. After that, staffing. Pretty straightforward, finding the right people for the right roles. Fourth is directing. This is the leadership piece, guiding the team, motivating them. And finally, controlling. This just means keeping an eye on things, making sure the plan is actually working. Okay, so let's circle back to effective and efficient. What's the deal? Well, effectiveness is about doing the right things. In our garden story, that just means they actually grew the plants. The goal was achieved, simple. But efficiency, that's about doing things right. It means growing that garden with the absolute minimum of wasted seeds, wasted water, and wasted effort. And here's the punchline. Truly great management, it does both. It hits the goal and does it without wasting resources. All right, so we've got a solid definition down. Now let's explore the DNA of management. What are its core characteristics? There are a few key phases of management that really explain how it all works. Okay, so there are 7 key features. First, it's always goal-oriented. There's always a target. It's pervasive, meaning it's literally everywhere, from a massive corporation down to your local coffee shop. It's a group activity. It's about we, not me. It's also continuous. It's an ongoing cycle, not a one-and-done deal. And it's dynamic, always adapting. Now, the last 2 are where things get really interesting. It's multidimensional, and it's an intangible force. And I want to spend a little more time on those. So what do we mean by multidimensional? Well, think of it like a 3-ring circus. A manager is constantly juggling 3 things at once. First, there's the management of work, the actual tasks and problems that need solving. Then you have the management of people. Everyone has different skills, personalities, and needs. And finally, you have the management of operations, which is the whole process of turning inputs into outputs. A really skilled manager keeps all 3 of those things in perfect harmony. And that brings us to maybe the most fascinating part. Management is an intangible force. There's this great saying that sums it up perfectly. You can't see management, but you can always feel its absence. And that's so true, isn't it? When you're in a place that's well run, you feel it. There's an energy, a sense of order and purpose. But when you walk into a place with bad management, you feel that too. The chaos, the frustration, the confusion. It's an invisible force with very, very visible results. Okay, so we've got a good handle on what management is. But let's switch gears and ask why. What's the end game?
What is it all for? Turns out all management is trying to accomplish a delicate balance between three core goals.
And these goals aren't in separate boxes. They're all connected, all woven together. You've got the goals for the organization itself, its responsibilities to society, and the personal goals of every single person on the team. The real art of management is keeping all three of those in mind all the time.
So let's start with the big one, the organizational objectives. This is the foundation. An organization has to, first and foremost, survive, right? Then, it needs to make a profit to stay financially healthy. And finally, it has to pursue growth to secure its future. If you don't have these three things locked down, well, the other goals don't really matter.
But of course, no company operates on a desert island. They're part of a community, part of a society, and that means good management has social objectives. This is all about being a good corporate citizen. We're talking about providing quality products at fair prices, creating good employment opportunities, and, protecting the environment. It's about adding value to the world, not just taking from it. And last but definitely not least, we have the personal objectives. This is all about the people inside the organization. Are they getting a fair salary? Do they feel secure in their jobs? Are there opportunities for them to learn and grow? Is it a good place to work? At the end of the day, a company that takes care of its people is a company that's built to last. Okay, so we've looked at what management is, its key features, and its main goals. Let's pull it all together now and talk about the big so what. Why does any of this really matter? Well, when you look at the whole picture, it becomes crystal clear. Good management is the engine that does it all. It gets everyone rowing in the same direction toward a common goal. It cuts out waste and boosts efficiency. It helps an organization stay flexible and adapt to change. It helps every single employee achieve their own goals. And, on a bigger scale, it contributes to building a better society. But look, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The real magic of management is its ability to create unity from diversity. It takes a whole bunch of different people with different skills, different ideas, different ambitions, and focuses all that energy toward one single shared goal. That is its superpower. And here's the thing. This isn't just for CEOs of giant companies. These ideas apply to all of us. I mean, think about it. Planning a family budget, that's management. Organizing a team project for school, that's management. Even just managing your own time to get everything done. Yep, that's management too. So I'll leave you with this thought. Where in your own life, at work, at home, anywhere, could a little bit of better management create a much better result?